it'll give me a bow that gives me sort of like +2 to damage.
That's pretty useful, isn't it?
The range, yeah. Because then I could flurry with that. So.
Oh yeah, the Pathfinder wolf.
Yeah.
We are good.
30 seconds and press play. Is a pen? Does that pen work? Yes, it's a pen that works. Oh no! Let's do this. Play is down, but we will crack on. Our erstwhile heroes. So if you remember, you had gone to search out Carmichael, a friend of Charlie Bull. There you go. I'm trying to remember names without digging into books. A friend of Charlie Bull's who hadn't been seen in town for a while, and Charlie was getting a little bit concerned about it. So you headed up, and if you remember, you discovered Carmichael was being attacked by some Walking Dead. You traced those Walking Dead back to another shack. And then, what happened after that? Can anybody remember what happened?
We went to the town that was run by a corporation, I think.
That's right.
That's right.
And they said, "On your way, dickheads."
That's right. Yeah, you ended up at Black Gulch, and the sheriff there told you that, on your way, dickheads. So you headed out. It was clearly getting late, so you decided to camp. And in the morning, after you camped, as you were kind of coming to in the morning, you heard some noises on the road. When you examined and investigated, you discovered that it was what appeared to be 5 armed men atop horses, leading what appeared to be 10 slaves or people chained up like slaves in the general direction of Black Gulch. These individuals were very much mixed people, so it wasn't all like people of colour. It was a mixture of white folk, people of colour, Chinese, but there's about 10 of them, and I believe where we left it was you were deciding as a group to go and get the drop on them.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Indeed.
Yeah, we're going to split up, weren't we? Some were going to be up ahead setting up dynamite ambush or something, and the rest of us follow and get it from both sides. Was the rough idea we had.
Yeah, I think we were. Yeah, I think we were going to plant sort of like, was it a couple of sets of dynamite or something like that, and then we were going to be either side of the, like at front and back either side, in 2 groups.
Yeah, just out of interest, as they went past, now the slavers, were they chained to the horse?
The slaves were not chained to the horses, no.
Were they chained to the front guy? Didn't he have a long chain or something?
They had a long chain, yes, but it was more. I suppose it would be fastened to the horses, but more of a deterrent to stop them from straying than anything.
Yeah, that's my worry. If we start the horses and they stampede off,
shoot them from the house.
Yeah.
It doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't go anywhere. No.
An old mentalist of mine, Ian Rollmaster, decided that when he was being charged by a lancer on a horse, and he put the horse to sleep.
When the horse is asleep, the lancer
put the horse to sleep. The lancer went flying off at 35 miles an hour into a rock.
There we go. Okay. So, you're probably just seeing a black screen, aren't you?
No, I can see the
No,
winding path. For once, it's not a black screen.
All right. So, what are we doing? Let's think about the plan. I would say I'm not sure whether you're going to have enough time.
If we can't set the dynamite, then we'll just throw dynamite.
Yeah, just chuck it.
Possibly at the whoever's best with throwing and using dynamite be up front, and he can. Well, we can get rid of the lead horse and the guy at that point.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
chuck it at that guy and then knock it over.
Yeah.
I don't mind a bit of horse death, to be honest with you. So even though I am a rancher, not the horse's fault, but it's there's 10 people behind it.
Okay. All right. So, are you going to try and get in front of them stealthily, or just making noise? Don't really care.
Well, we were. They were going at a slow pace.
Yeah, they're at walking pace, aren't they? Have we all frozen?
No.
Said
He's just got his headphones
yeah.
looking like Mickey Mouse at the moment.
Sorry. Yeah. Just the missus asking me a question.
Yeah. No, they're going at walking pace because they're limited to the people chained up. So we're going fast in a wide berth so that we can get ahead of them, and we don't need to go stealthy then because we're wide and
Right. That sounds good. So I'll tell you what. Are you riding your horses or are you moving on foot?
Riding horses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's everybody give me riding rolls then, please.
You're going to say that. There's only one person that can properly ride.
I know you can't ride.
Yeah. Are we splitting up? Because some of us were going to go behind so that they can't run away.
No, when we get to the place where we're ambushing, we'll set up so that some of us are at the front of the ambush and some of us at the back.
Yeah,
that's all.
I don't have a ride, so it's an unskilled attempt, isn't it?
Yeah. He gets a success.
Yeah, no modifiers, just straight and
Just straight up ride. Yeah. Okay. Fortunately, you got more successes than failures. So, as a group, you can make a good time on the slavers, finding a place where you think you can easily ambush them. So, as you basically you decide that the best place to take them down, as you can see, is this kind of S-shaped bend in the road, which provides a little bit of raised area to the left and the right, and some cover. It also creates a position where you suspect they will have to slow down to even slower than a typical walking pace to navigate around this kind of fairly narrow part in the road. So go ahead and drop your tokens on the map.
We got drawing tools on this. I can't remember.
Yeah, you should have. You should have access to the pencil. Should be able to draw from there, I think.
Know where it is?
Yeah, you should. Do you not have a drawing tools icon under on the right hand side. Sorry, left hand side under your token controls. It looks like a pencil.
Yeah.
No, sadly.
No.
Oh, okay.
Lots of tokens.
Well, we don't have our icons to put on the map either. We can see the map, but we cannot see our icons on it.
Oh, give me a second. Oh. Did I just kick you all out then?
No.
Yeah.
Or just me then. Just kicked myself out. Right, let's get you on the map first. So I'm just going to put you on the map. Choose
Places. Right,
where
so
you want people to go.
what I'm thinking is, if we're looking at the front of the train being somewhere like there,
Yeah.
then the back of it is probably going to be about here, I'd say. With 10, was it 10 people walking in twos? So it's like 5.
Pretty much, yeah.
Were they broken up by other riders or?
From what you can remember, there were there were 5 riders.
If they bunch up round this, it might be about there then, and then they'll bunch up to about there, won't they?
Yeah.
So in that, if we're looking at that, then we probably want to position somebody there, somebody in those rocks, and then the rest of us on that side. I would have thought, so that we've got an arc of fire going northwest up that slant, but then coming southeast, and then coming west from that top bit there. And we should get a reasonable. And the person at the top is probably going to be the person that's throwing the dynamite at the front.
Yeah.
I would have thought. And that should be a pretty good kill zone. I would have thought.
Indeed.
Yeah. That's more or less what I was thinking. The 3 locations for the ambush.
I don't know if the mad scientist dude wants to be at the front there.
Ping him? Ping where? There? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, so he can throw at the front.
I'm not taking that time myself. Tell you that now.
Seagull's character's a sniper, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he might want to be one of the ones that's there at the head.
Yeah, I was thinking of going around there as well. I'm not that with the gun.
Yeah, and then
I'm sneaky.
I'll go. I don't know. I need to go and put it up. I put myself back here somewhere. I'm assuming we can hide behind those rocks, although that's quite close. So we want to put probably somewhere back here, and then once they're past, we can take position behind those rocks. I'd say so. Probably put ourselves in the trees, and then once they've gone past, position ourselves behind the rocks.
Okay.
I think that's probably as good. And then once they get down there, as long as we're well hidden, once they get down there, we'll have them turned around. We'll have where we want to shoot, and they'll be we do, won't know.
Well, if let the front shoot first, and then they'll hopefully try to come back this way. And we can
the
catch
big
them.
boom. Well, the big boom will be just trigger, and then we can set everybody else off. Just light everybody else up.
That's a theory. The Big Bang theory.
It is a Big Bang theory. Yeah.
Okay.
If we've got enough time, you could set up some dynamite on the actual trail itself as well.
I think that was the touch and go, whether we'd have time to dig it, and then you've got to hide it, and they could see it and all that stuff.
Well, all he needs is to stick a dynamite there.
Yeah, but you couldn't use a fuse.
We'll set that up as well as a bigger explosion, I would assume. Doesn't need to actually be detonated in front of him. throw another one in the general area, it's going to be easier to actually hit and just trigger a bigger explosion than throw a larger charge accurately, I would guess.
It won't take a lot of sticks. One, 2 sticks of dynamite will probably. You're looking at the area that'll impact. It'll clean out that front guy and a half. I would have thought.
It's an enclosed space, isn't it?
Yeah.
You could put a piece of dynamite under this rock here and just let it roll down.
It'll blow it back on us, won't it? That'd be
Yeah.
the thing.
The Acme Dynamite Company.
Yeah,
It
this is
absolutely
where.
will.
Yeah, this is where Zed throws in, just as we're about to throw dynamite, a rattlesnake comes out under his he startles him and he drops it.
There's a snake in my boot.
Don't forget to reload your weapons before you start.
Oh, good call, thank you.
Can you hear me, Mr. Z?
I can hear you fine, but yeah.
Hello.
I don't seem
Hello.
to get to log into Deadlands because my password has disappeared.
Uh-oh. I remember the password. Hang on.
It's on Discord.
Discord. It's always on Discord.
Okay, I must have reloaded my guns before we finished, because I'm a good boy.
I think I did last time, but I'm just reloading everything I've got now. Just to be on the safe side.
Hang on. Do it this way. Send you a message in Discord. There you go. Sent you a message in Discord, but with the password. Just don't open it. Copy and paste if you're on camera. Oh no, you don't need to worry. It's not your screen that's being mirrored. It's Medi's.
No, it's mine.
He has a habit of posting it onto camera.
Is there a way to see how many bullets are actually loaded in the gun?
Yeah.
Right click and reload, but does that reload a single bullet at a time or
single bullet at a time? Because that's how you reload the bullets, unfortunately.
Yeah. So how do you see how many bullets is actually loaded at the moment?
Let me have a look. You have to edit. So if you go to, if you look at your Winchester,
edit your gun.
If you look at your Winchester, you'll see that it's got 12 or 15 shots loaded.
Right.
And then your Colt, one of your Colts got 3 of 6, and the other one has got 3 of 6.
Okay.
You'd think they'd have that on the outside. You'd think they'd have that on the outside, wouldn't you, as a counter?
You would, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why you don't.
You don't have enough ammunition for this action. I have 78 ammunition.
It's because you do have enough ammunition, but you don't have enough ammunition of the right kind that is mapped to the weapon. So let me map it properly.
I was going to say, because the reason that we chose 73 was it's the same ammo as the Colt.
Does the Winchester 73 use the same ammo?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't in this. It won't let me select it.
Yeah, it uses the same 40-44 as the Colt Frontier.
It actually says in the book, that's why we chose it.
Yeah.
Or in the game, I can't remember which one of them said that it was the same ammo.
So the game is looking for rifle ammunition for the Winchester.
Okay, so if I...
The easiest thing to do is for me to just drop rifle ammunition onto your character sheet.
Yeah, I was going to say, drop a load on there and then remove the pistol equivalent. Not that I'm expecting to fire that many shots in this fight.
Just check that this is the right ammo. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I gave you 30 rifle ammunition small. That's the right ammo, it seems.
Alright, so I shall delete 30 pistol ammunition because I'm now encumbered.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. 22 B 52.
Okay. Weird. I've not had that problem. Weirdly.
You might have a different version of the Winchester pulled onto your character sheet if it works okay for you.
Oh, have you got 2 stacks of ammunition?
No.
Oh, 2 stacks ammunition. What am I doing? Okay. You like to see, isn't it? All right. You want Newton to see if he can hide some stick of dynamite on the road, do you?
No, I'll trust his. I'll trust his throw.
Okay.
To be honest with you, seems to do an okay job with it last time. If he's got the skills for it, sure. I don't know what his skill says.
Getting down to the road is going to be the problem. He's not massively stealthy, so he is better, most likely, to just throw it.
And so I would have thought stealth would have been part of hiding it as well. So if he's not stealthy, then there's no point.
Although throw, we worked out, goes off athletics, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not the most accurate with athletics either. But
Well, he's got tokens for that.
Let's see how it goes. All right, so you wait. You push your horses up around the edge of the road as it starts to reach the valley part of the trail that you're following. You get yourself up into the rocks. You secure your horses a little bit out of the way, and you sit and wait. Just waiting a little bit for the sounds of the slavers to be heard and then sort of come visible. It doesn't take too long, maybe 10 or so minutes after you've kind of got yourself up into the rocks. You can start to hear the jingle of horses, the jingling of chains, and sure enough, you see the train of slavers and slaves as they come up and around the S-bend. Let me get them all visible to you. And there you have it. So you should be able to hover over tokens to see which are red, which are enemies, and which are blue, which are neutral. So effectively, this one,
Infantryman or bandits, basically.
this one.
2 at the front, 2 at the back, and 1 in the middle. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
There's one that is neither, but he should be alright.
This one.
Looks like he's a baker or something in the middle.
That one?
Oh, we've got a yellow, haven't we?
A yellow, yeah.
Yeah.
5 from the back.
That's it. Luna.
Gotcha. All right. So, as you get yourselves ready, you watch as the slavers kind of come up and around the corner, and over to you for your plan.
I suppose it's all down to his throat,
doctor,
where he
isn't it?
gets
Yeah.
it. Yeah. 'Cause
Starting the fight.
yeah.
So they have elected the doctor to throw a stick of dynamite at the lead bad guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll have. I'd say that us hiding in the rocks here should have him kind of covered by aiming our rifles at the two lead ones, just in case they react and spot him.
Yeah, well, I'd say the dynamite at the front hopefully will clear 1 or 2 at the front. Anybody left over could be cleared by you guys. Now the one in the middle's got the left-hand side, and then us 2 at the back. We can take the 2 at the back.
Yep.
Yeah, try and aim the dynamite somewhere about there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's have an athletics roll then.
Is it 3? Is it 3 bennies we got? Did you say?
3 bennies. Everybody reset to 3 bennies. Yeah. Don't forget
Maybe
to
use
reset.
it just now. Oh. Roll that.
Well, you've got it on target. Stick of dynamite is going to do
3d6 damage.
3d6 damage. Okay, so from out of the bushes on the edge of the ravine, a small stick of dynamite comes kind of tumbling through the air, landing not too far away. Where were you aiming it for?
Aiming it for pretty much there.
Okay, aiming it at the front. All right, roll your 3d6 damage.
Nice.
Ooh, that's a good number.
Frickin' heck, here we go. Okay, so first and foremost, damage is what, a small blast template?
I believe that is the case for this one. So these were. I think this is large blast template plus 2 damage and 4 sticks. This is not 4 sticks, this is 1 stick, so I think. Doesn't say. It was in the book.
And what size have I got the map grid? Grid scale 2 yards. Okay. All right. So, is there splash damage? I can't remember if there's splash damage.
Just trying to look it up. Hold on. Ranged weapons.
I thought we splash damage.
So it's 2d6 damage, and it's small blast template.
So these must be medium because this is down on my sheet as 3d6 damage.
Okay, so it's 2. Okay, so actually you've got 2 sticks of dynamite strapped to each other. Still a medium blast template. Okay, so if you're going for there,
no, this is I think this is a 3. This is a 3. It says 3 sticks in the description.
Okay,
Which
3d6. Okay, so you toss the thing. You catch the front rider doing 19 points of damage to him. So let's resolve this damage. All right. Immediately, the horse is blown to pieces, as well as the rider is also blown to pieces. At that point, everything comes to a halt. There is a ripple of cries of fear from the slavers, as well as woe there and pulling up of horses around the front and the back. And let's roll for initiative. As the first rider goes down.
How do I do that?
Just highlight your token, right click on the token, and hit the sword and shield, and that brings it up in the initiative token, in the initiative tracker, and then you just click on NPCs. And it's still got the wrong people's names on here, so let me fix that. Player character 2 is Billy.
Doesn't appear to be showing up.
I'll sort it 1 second.
Now we've got blackjack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the bad guys have got blackjack.
Everybody
Yeah.
should be back up
Oh,
on
black
the thing, bar the doctor.
Yeah, it's Black Joker, isn't it?
Yeah. There you go. I've dealt in the doctor as well. Okay.
Oh, sorry, no, it's a redeal.
Yeah, it's fine. All right. So we have a gunman who has a black joker sitting at the very top. He can do what he wants. He can go when he wants. Which gunman is it? The one at the back. Okay, so he's going to pause. He's taking stock of what's going on, but as he does so, he's going to pull out his pistol.
Do we need stealth checks or anything daft like that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not really. Tom.
Okay. Actually, not the one nearest me.
Go for it.
Jason.
With a Winchester. Very nice.
I just click
Still
on
just click on shooting, yeah.
What's it?
Still one of these in the Royal Armouries. They're awesome little guns.
No penalties?
No penalties, you're at short range, so no. What? Just a straight. Go on.
Yeah, no, I'm going to spend a penny.
Oh, re-roll it for a penny. Okay, nice. Yep, your target is 4, so that's going to be a hit with a raise. So you can roll your damage.
With a raise.
Roll raise.
Roll with a raise.
Nice.
Okay. Your rifle round rings out amongst the rocks, and with a resounding thud, the horseman falls to the floor. Billy,
Yo.
there's one here, and then 2 at the back.
I'm going to go for chap towards the front.
Okay.
That roll shooting, don't I?
Yep.
Any mods?
Nope. Snake eyes, critical failure.
Not any of that.
Benny, I don't know you can Benny snake eyes.
You can now.
You can't bury snake eyes. All right. Okay. You go to you raise your rifle. You squeeze the trigger. Nothing happens. And you realise you've got some dirt in your firing mechanism, so you misfire this round.
Bollocks. Round to deal, I suppose.
Yep. Doctor.
Well, I suppose I better take a pot shot at this guy at the front here.
Indeed.
Target him now. Click on him. No. Target. No. Target.
Or right click.
Right click.
Yeah, just double right click it. Actually, I don't need to.
I'm going to choose. How the hell do I target him?
Double right click.
Have you got the there you
No, that's
Sorry?
me.
Have you got the tokens selection thing, or have you got something else?
Oh, hang on. No. There we go. Thank you. I've already been choose. Roll that.
Been a while.
Well, that's a hit.
That's it.
Just a straight up hit. So roll your damage.
Where's my down?
What did you shoot with?
That was that one there.
Grenade launcher.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
a Colt Rainmaker.
Gatling gun.
Oh,
No.
Well, at least it's you winged him, yeah. Reckon the range 12. 6 squares. 6 squares is short range. Yeah, you're fine. Okay, resolve damage.
Okay.
Yeah, basically you wing him. The horse that he's on kind of jolts to the side as the bullet whizzes over the guard's the slaver's shoulder. The Colt.
All right, I'm going to move to here, and I'm going to shoot the one that's dead in front of me, Mr. Black.
Okay. As you do so, this guy is going to step in his hold on. Okay, who are you targeting, Medi?
This guy at the bottom here.
This one here.
Yeah.
So he's the one that's on the blackjack. Right, can you make an agility roll, please? Just straight up athletics roll. Nope, straight up agility roll, sorry.
So what was that? That was you.
That was me.
That's a lot of dice.
So I got 21 and you got 10. So as you kind of rise up amongst the rocks to kind of beat down on it, he immediately reacts by shooting at you first. So he gets to interrupt you. However, I'm going to give you a bonus for cover. So he's going to get a penalty on his Colt Frontier as he goes to shoot you. Damn it. I've got exactly the same problem. Yeah. Right, let's try again. Okay, so I'm going to give you a modifier. I'm going to give you a modifier of light cover. He squeezes off the trigger. Nothing seems to happen. And he kind of looks at you and then he looks at the pistol with a little bit of surprise. Now you may go, Colt.
God's on my side.
He is indeed.
But not today. I'm going to use a Benny and re-roll that, I think.
You're going to use a Benny and re-roll. Go for it.
Worth every bit of that, Benny.
Well, that's a raise. So roll your damage with a raise.
Scroll up and get here now. Damage.
Again, you you kind of rise up, fire down as he tries to fire at you, and you hear that distinct click of the pistol. Seemingly, kind of goes. The sound of it goes over everything, all the other noise around you. Blake, you're up.
God is on my side.
As you then kind of take him in the chest, and he kind of twists and falls, partly in the stirrups of his horse.
Range is 2 per square, isn't it?
2 per square, yeah.
It's fine, he's in shot. I'm going to just initially just lean around this tree, just take a shot at him.
Okay.
That got him targeted?
Yeah, looks like it.
I think so, yeah. I also will be using a Benny.
I love the fact that you're all Bennying away. That's what they're there for.
Alright, did the job.
I'll do.
That just hits. Normal damage. Resolve damage. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do.
The bullet kind of sort of dings past him, and he kind of jerks the reins and kind of looks a little bit concerned as you do that. So he is going to try and break his shaken, which he does. I believe that's the end of his turn, though. Gunman, the one that's left up here. Okay, so he's going to use one of his actions to kind of cast the chain off the horse, and then he is going to roll a dice. Okay, he's going to try and target Dr. Newton. Not try, he's going to successfully target Dr. Newton. Puts him at 8 yards away. Using a Colt Frontier. That puts him at short range. So it's a straight roll. Gonna give you light cover. Still hits though. You feel the pain of a round as it kind of catches you in the oh god, that's not good. Shit. Yeah.
In the face.
It could be the dynamite.
Dr. Newton, you are going to take 2 wounds. You can spend a penny, I believe, to soak if you wish.
I shall.
Okay. So it looks like I've got to do this for you. Right. I think I've just spent a penny by accident. So do you want to?
My back.
Okay. Add 1 back. However, you'll be glad to know my roll for you ended up being 16, which means you soak all the damage. Just do me a favour. Can you just click on? Can you see the resolve damage box?
No.
No. Okay. Because I'm wondering if
nothing appeared on the screen throughout that, apart from dice with question marks.
Right now you can see it. Yeah.
Nope, nothing there.
Okay. Okay.
Privately, dice, but
Yeah, because I'm wondering. That seems a bit weird. I mean, there's no way for you to roll a soak roll, whereas I would. It forces me to roll it for you.
Is that the one with the 15? Gunman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see resolve damage now.
Okay. If you can you see resolve damage though? It says 15 resolve damage, Otis.
No, I can't.
You can't.
2, 3, 4, 5.
All I've got is it says Dr. Newton soaked all wounds and is not shaken.
Yeah, about 6 up from that.
Oh, there. Okay, yeah.
Just click on the resolve damage box for a second for me.
Yeah, get another one. Roll soak.
Does it say? Does it allow you to say take 2 wounds or roll?
Gives 4 options.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Well, that's the way to do it then. Going forward, you can just cancel that. Okay. The government looks a little bit annoyed that you seem to just take the damage. Okay, let's go to the top of the round. Blake, you are first, top of the round.
Still got this targeted, so I'll shoot him again.
Okay, go for it. Standard hit. Roll damage. Unless you wish to try and do better than that.
No, no.
Okay. Roll your damage. Okay, well, I tried to soak the wounds, didn't do anything. All right, so he's down.
See by your face that he didn't do anything.
Not only did he not do anything, he rolled a 1, so it really didn't do anything. Okay, nice shot, Blake. You still have an action if you wish. Don't forget, everybody, you have 2 actions. You can shoot twice.
You
have to declare it at the beginning
on
of
both of them, don't you?
Yeah.
Sorry, you have to declare that you're taking multiple actions.
Yeah. But I will move. I'm assuming this is rough terrain, so I can only move 2.
Yeah.
I will move and move up slightly that way.
Okay.
Me done.
Cool. Tom.
Only one left, so.
Yeah, so you can perform a move action and a regular action without penalty. You can do additional regular actions, but you start accruing penalties. Holy shit. Well, that's damage with a raise. roll damage. And that's this one up here, yeah?
Yeah, there's only one left.
All right. He goes down as well. And literally in the space of about 10 or so seconds, starting with a rather big explosion and somewhat of a mangled horse in a crater, followed by a quick exchange of bullets and pistol and rifle rounds. You are the victors as the last of the slavers falls.
Okay, make our way down then. I'm going to make my way down.
Yeah.
The slaves are all kind of a little bit stunned and kind of cowering on the ground, trying to make themselves as small as possible.
I am going to clear my weapon and I'm going to stand on guard looking for people coming up behind.
Okay, you stand on guard.
I'm walking down, gun in the air, both hands in the air with my gun, and I'm going to be talking soothingly to them, saying, "There's nothing to fear here. We're here to help."
Yeah, I'm searching through the belongings of this near one, see if there's any keys or anything to unshackle them.
Yeah, look for these bad guys, see where they got the keys. I've got a feeling this guy at the front, but
Yeah, the one that's probably
leader.
got mangled keys somewhere who dynamite hit them.
Searching the bodies, yeah, so the mangled one at the front definitely has a set of keys on him, but so does one near the back.
Right.
Seems that they've doubled up the number of keys.
Okay. I'll take the key. Yeah. I bet if you could gather those two horses up. I suggest we get these people on horses. Just get them out here. And then we've got 8 between 10. So.
Well, 7.5.
Yeah, so we got 4 horses between 10 people. Sorry, so it's 8 people. And then I'll start undoing the shackles from the back, and as I'm doing it, go, don't worry, we're going to get you to safety. Just hang around, we'll get you to the authorities.
They kind of they're very wary of you, but they kind of nod thanks as you kind of release them. Each of them kind of rubbing their arms, their legs, etc., and then kind of just sitting down on the ground, just kind of a little bit shocked about what's just happened more than anything.
While searching the gunman, are there any written orders or anything to indicate who's requested these or anything like that? Evidence, basically.
Like a shopping list, like, pint of milk, some flour, 10 slaves.
More like the sheriff of the corrupt town up ahead saying that we want this many or something like that type of thing.
I guess he's got standard ordering, whoever you can find.
Give me 1 second.
But are they being experimented on, which is what we were suspecting? There might be specific requirements.
The one at the front has a sorry, I'm trying to do something that I'm not doing very well. Okay, got it. Right. The one at the front has a note on that simply says 10. Bring 10 to DH at the Gulch. $10 per head.
Hey guys, we just made $100.
And if we prostitute them, we can make a lot more. I just absolutely did not say that.
Oh, we're evil.
And if we let them breed, that's a future investment.
Cut down costs. They only want the heads. $10 per head. We've got the heads of these gunmen, so we might make some profit.
So yeah, it just seems to be like the way it's worded. You would so it uses cattle references, and when you read the note, if you hadn't have seen this, if you'd have just discovered that note in on the person, you would just assume that they're some kind of ranch hand. Because he talks about steers, bring 10 steers for DH to the gulch, $10, $10 a head. It doesn't reference people or anything along those lines. It's quite a cleverly worded note.
Have we any idea what DH is? Can't find any names, so let's match it.
It would be the guy that we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't even know the corporation that owns it, do we?
No.
So we'd have to go to the land registry for that.
Sorry. It's not DH. No, it's it just says bring them to Elric. Sorry, misreading something.
Stormbringer? Shit, a brick.
Yeah.
Not doing this one. Leave this.
Gonna need something bigger than a sword.
Renamed character Ariok.
Yeah.
Have we heard the name Elric before?
No.
Not
at all.
Could be Elric von Liechtenstein.
What condition are these people in? They look starved, or
they don't. No, they're not. They're not overly starved. They're hungry, but they don't look like they have been marched for days.
Recent capture, then.
Yeah. And if you spend a little bit of time talking to some, they'll kind of tell you that a couple of them. There's definitely husband and wife here. They were travelling with a small group that was. They were taken from a small group about a day and a half ago. They think certainly they've been travelling for at least 2 full nights with this group.
Well, I'd suggest once we've got them free, we get our horses down there, we double them up on horses, and any two that are left, we can put on our horses. Or anybody that, if they haven't got enough riders, then we can double, and we can just, once we strip these bodies of everything they've got on them, money, weapons, gold teeth, all that good stuff, I'd suggest we go to civilization somewhere.
Indeed.
So Deadwood, maybe.
Yeah. I'm guessing Deadwood's the nearest.
Well, if you're, so
I know we're in the middle of something, but
you are.
I'd question.
What were we about there?
You're up that way somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that far north.
Maybe there then. It was a station into the west of there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we think the town
I have my notes in front of me. So, yeah, if I remember rightly, you went southwest, sort of southwest of Deadwood, and then you've travelled a further sort of 10 miles west of Carmichael's place. Looks like Steeple's just dropped.
Steeple's computer just died. He just sent a message.
Ah, okay.
Right, we'll get them.
So you're about, if you remember rightly, you're probably a day's ride west of Deadwood.
Mm-hmm.
Or sort of southwest of Deadwood.
Well, what we can do, the path that they came down, which way was that going? That was going east, was it?
I was going east-west, yeah.
Right.
Roughly, it is a path that you think will eventually either take you direct to Deadwood or join another path or trail that would lead you to town.
But we've got an option of either taking the road for a while, so we're going back over their tracks. It's well travelled.
Yeah.
And then cutting off, or just immediately going rough country now.
What state are they in?
Hungry.
They are hungry and tired, but they're in but beyond that they are okay.
I'd say water them. Don't need to feed them unless we've got biscuits. We'll have dry rations and stuff like that we can hand out. But given what,
yeah, there'll be the food of the people we just killed.
Just to say, the slavers must have had something.
yeah. Like I said, it's literally dry food, so that we can quick biscuits, whatever. Make sure the water, because we don't want anybody falling off the horses. And then we can just GCFO, I suppose. Question is, down the track for a distance or straight off?
Matters usually the track of the road.
Because all we'll see is horses going back the other way.
Yeah.
A
little bit quicker, to be fair. Rather than dragging people who can't ride over rough terrain, yeah.
Like if you want me to chop down a tree, tie the branches to a rope and drag it behind me in a different direction for a couple of miles, then I'll do that. Just to break up, foliage and whatnot. But you'd usually do that to cover tracks, not
exactly, yeah. I don't think we need to worry as long as we just keep going.
Well, we're still a distance from the gulch, aren't we?
Yeah.
So they won't be expecting them. They'll have a time frame where they're expecting them, but not specific. So we'll have I'd say we have a head start, I would have thought, by a chunk of time.
Yeah, and we'll be travelling faster as well.
As long as we keep moving,
Yeah.
we should stay ahead.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for any dust clouds or a group of riders coming.
And so the plan is to head back to Deadwood, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Sell these horses.
All right. You can definitely get back to Deadwood pretty much unopposed. So you're a largish group. If you hand out, so amongst the riders, you would find 5 pistols and 2 rifles. If you were to hand those out amongst the 10 slaves or ex-slaves, you've got yourself a decent-sized posse of people that can protect that you can all protect each other on the road, meaning you are unlikely to be attacked by anybody, certainly during the day. The only people that would maybe even pay attention to you would be native Indians if they're out in the hills. And beyond that, it's just every so often you might see one or two miners mining a claim in the vicinity.
Well, army of skeletons.
I'd probably suggest not handing the guns out straight away. If we have to stop at night for any reason, then we can get a couple of dependable people that know how to shoot and give them a rifle each. But I wouldn't expect these people to protect themselves.
So let's face it, it's not a bunch of white guys taking them down a trail. We're just another bunch of white guys leading them down a trail.
Yeah.
Well, we're all on horses, aren't we? So yeah.
So not much change for them.
First day out.
Apart from the fact they're not in chains.
Yeah.
All right. As I say, following the track, it's a fairly straightforward journey. Let's have a quick check from one of you. Have a look at Blake for a second. Give me survival rolls. Just to see how good you do at getting yourself back to Deadwood.
But I didn't use all my bennies. That's all I can say.
You got, whoever's got the highest survival skill can just take the lead and roll that, or you can all try and steer the group together.
I don't have survival.
I've got a D4, so I can try, and I'll use bennies. So.
Okay.
What I could.
Nice.
You're rolling well.
Okay. The trail is not too difficult. You are able to get the group back to Deadwood over the course of the rest of the day. You took the ambush just before sort of 9 o'clock in the morning, and as dusk is setting later on, it's an early September evening, so maybe about 8 or 9 hours later, you kind of get the group into Deadwood as a whole. And so you arrive back at Deadwood.
Supposed to take these guys to the sheriff.
Sheriff's, yeah.
Okay, you find the sheriff, and he is interested in what you have to tell him. What are you telling him?
I'm going to start dropping.
Say again?
I'm going to start a brothel.
You're going to start a brothel.
Have you got any spare buildings?
Yeah. Is it worth trying to find the land registry office as well before we hand these people in, so we can get a name for who has that property?
We may get a little bit more weight about being able to find it if we've got the sheriff on our side.
True.
Because he
Yeah.
may want to do that as well.
Yeah. Well, we've got the name Elric, so that's always a bonus.
I suppose we could. Are we going to start by telling him about the gulch? That we were up there and we got turned away, and it's very secretive. What's he asking what he knows about, or start by asking what he knows about the place?
Yeah.
Because we might want to get a read off the sheriff first.
See if he's working for him.
Tell the sheriff about the skeletons that killed all the miners. That's where it started, really, isn't it?
Yeah. But we need to tell Charlie as well, don't we, about his mate?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Well,
Okay. So
yeah,
talking to the sheriff, he kind of listens quietly to what you have to say. Every so often he kind of strokes his stubbly chin and sort of ums and ahs over things. And there are lots of abandoned towns and settlements out in the hills. It could be any one of those. We would have to dig through the records to see if it was established legally and therefore registered with the Office of Indian Affairs, or whether it was done illegally, in which case it would be very difficult for us to track down the owners of, or the founders of the gulch. But you say you got a suggestion that it was owned by a corporation of some kind?
That's the feel. He asked whether we were employed by the company, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And so I assumed it was a company town, and they were well armed, Sheriff. You had the sheriff out front, but you had,
Snipers on the roofs.
At least half a dozen to a dozen gunmen on the rooftops, all well armed.
Though the town itself looked almost deserted.
Did you get a good look at any of these armoured men? Any particular clothing or symbols or anything that could suggest who they might be?
Only the sheriff that I recall. Everybody else, they were all up there, but they were trying to be well hidden until they forced the fact. But no, you want to leave now.
If memory serves, it was getting dark, wasn't it? Because we went back out and slept.
It was getting dark, yeah.
I remember spotting a couple that were hidden up in the. There's one at the far end, wasn't there? The church.
In the bell tower,
Yeah.
I think, looking right down the road.
Give me a straight up smarts roll.
On Doctor.
Have to be with a pen. One of you give me a smarts roll, but roll as though you were in dim light, please. I think that'll apply at -2. Yeah, I think there's an option to just select illumination dim light.
My smarts is 6 if it helps.
Mine's D10.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Doctor.
I've got 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, illumination dim light. Where they are? I've just seen it. Okay, right. Hang on. We need to take one of those away. Yep. Roll.
That'll do nicely, sir.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh. The badge that the sheriff had, for all intents and purposes, a casual observer would definitely see it as the traditional 5-pointed sheriff's, the 5-pointed star sheriff's badge. But there was something else in it that now you think about it, as the sheriff is, as the sheriff in Deadwood is asking you this question. Let's see if I can find a. Just give me a sec. Probably it doesn't tell me what the symbol would be. Hold on. It has a very distinct sort of stylized H in the center of the badge. Which you would recognize as pertaining to Hellstrom.
Ooh.
D8 something Hellstrom.
No, they're they're the base manufacturer. Or sorry, they're the manufacturer of most artifacts based on Ghost Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, they're the biggest industrial corporation, aren't they?
Correct.
What's the owner called?
Darius Hellstrom.
As your DH then.
That's what I said. D8.
Yeah.
Now that could also be the company that owns the village, then, couldn't it?
Yeah. At which point we can show the we'd be able to show the sheriff the letter, but you can lead with that, Doctor, about the badge.
See, we recognise the name Elric.
Indeed. So yeah, explain that the link then we've got to the
To the slaves, yeah.
slaves, the company men, and the potential that it's Hellstrom that's controlling the town.
He kind of he looks at the. So you're going to show him the slip of paper that you got.
Well, we can wait. Initially, there'll be a response about the badge, won't there? So, depending on what he says about the badge, I suppose it would lead to whether we show him the paper or not.
Well, it's highly possible that Hellstrom has decided to move into one of the many abandoned places out in the Gulch. Perhaps as a direct consequence of the increased presence of the dragons. One can understand them being a little protective of their places, but though why they would ask you to leave, I don't know, unless they're doing some kind of corporate secret thing, maybe.
Well, I hazard a guess it's something to do with the 10 slaves that we've got outside that we rescued.
But then they're not really known for being slavers.
Oh,
Unless they're using them to experiment.
Secret slavers normally aren't.
Yeah, and 10 gentlemen on the road outside may disagree with that point of view.
Oh, actually, sorry. Let me reframe the imagery. So the imagery was what appeared to be you equate it to be a factory with 4 chimneys coming out of it, which is the Wasatch Rail Company, which is owned by Darius Hellstrom. So it's still the same. It's still the same outcome, just a slightly different badge.
Well, but it's not directly the same, is it? Because it's not Hellstrom could have plausible deniability.
Correct. Yeah. No. But the link to the Hellstrom company, or a company owned by Hellstrom, is there. Yes.
But in terms of the wider the rail lines that are coming through the territory, it wouldn't be uncommon for a rail company to need slaves to extend their line. Would that be a fair assumption?
That would be a fair assumption. They would definitely need labour, and forced labour would not be unheard of.
And we were
but illegal in parts of the states.
and but it's been made illegal everywhere. As one of the outcomes of the Confederate, it's become, slavery is definitely looked down upon and illegal in most parts of the US at this point.
But the rail company, the Wasatch, are they building or are they? They're not trying to join up, are they? Because they're southwest of us, or south and west.
Correct.
Yeah, because that'd be a complete offshoot of the railroad, wouldn't it? Where that's going.
And how close were we to Gehenna Station? Because we went west, didn't we, into the Black Hills?
You're probably 25, 30 miles away from Gehenna Station.
Which is where the rail company terminates.
Which is where Wasatch terminates, yes.
It's interesting, it's an underground railway. Maybe they're mining ghost rock at the same time.
It is an underground railroad, yes.
That's how the vampires get around America.
Yep.
So the sheriff doesn't basically says they maybe have the right to defend themselves in the town.
Which is fine. Or it's not. He said it's not unusual for them to turn people away.
It's not unusual for them to want to protect their interests.
Which is what a rancher would do. It's if you went onto ranch land, you'd be lucky not to get shot.
Yeah.
Essentially.
If the town is illegal, then they wouldn't have any grounds to be able to do that.
No,
it just seemed very nefarious, didn't it, though?
Yeah.
Just remember, Dr. Havisham, who is an old mentor of Dr. Newton, is missing and was seen up in that direction.
Yeah.
But I don't recall him having links to Hellstrom.
Depends what his field of work was, though, as well.
He would be a Hellstrom sympathizer. Not directly working for him, but enamored by his scientific knowledge and breakthroughs.
And access to ghost rock.
Yes.
So there's every possibility he was in that town.
Possibly, yes.
Right, so I do believe we need to go to. We're going to just let these people wander off.
Well, no, we need them to file reports of their abduction
Yeah. So the sheriff, a couple of the deputies will take the rescued slaves in tow, start to have conversations with them, piece together where they've come from, where they've been taken, and figure out how to get them somewhere safe, or at least some clothes and hot food in them while they sort out where they need to go.
Yeah, for me, ultimately, I don't think it'd be too far down the path to be looking at military involvement in this, and certainly going to a governor. It's that kind of level, I would have thought. Or you just get the Iron Dragon Railroad Company involved, and you have a big old rail war.
Yeah.
You'd want to avoid a rail war because that will bring the Sioux Indians into things and then probably bring Custer's army into things, and it's just going to get messy.
Fun to watch, though.
It would be very fun to watch.
because we control
Just
the army.
sit on a hill, on a hill, looking at the devastation, going, "You see all that? We did that."
Yeah.
Let's take a quick 10-minute break. You can have a ponder over next actions while I go
Cool.
grab a drink.
Yeah, it's definitely a Santa Bay going. Ready for my hat to go on tomorrow. I want to get tied up and trimmed, but it's really going to take too much off. Yeah. And I can do this. That's right.
Either of those statements could have been true.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm tempted to just accept the fact that that ranger character isn't a people person, and it's gonna have to be accepted. They're a ranger. They're not a people person. They have no charisma. They have no social skills other than a rudimentary understanding of society through hanging around. But in the wild, knows a shit.
You're describing my Thursday Ranger druid at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I just need too many stats in other areas.
I'm going to bail, guys. I've just hit a brick wall. Catch you guys later.
No,
All right, buddy.
Take care, buddy.
Right. Catch you in a bit. Have you built Seaboy yet? That's what we want to know.
Not yet. All right, we are back then. Shall we continue?
Indeed.
Okay. All right. So the sheriff is he's not convinced right now that there's enough information. You know, he says going gung ho to the Wasatch Railroad Company and accusing them of slavery and other things, nefarious practices, summoning dead and all that kind of stuff. It would be very difficult with the limited information that you have. Lawyers for those would just be able to, make a claim that the slavers just happened to be on that road heading in roughly that direction, but no guarantee they were going to go there. And the same with the undead creatures that you tracked back. Just because they were heading in that direction, you didn't see any of them go into or originate from the town. So he's not convinced that you have enough legal evidence to take to the governor to cause the kind of stir that would be caused by you simply by you doing so.
Have we shown him the letter yet?
Even the letter doesn't call out anything.
It does say the gulch, though. So it says bring them to the gulch. So
it does say bring them to the
whoever
gulch.
the power at the gulch is was asking for 10 slaves.
Plus,
and if he pulls that bullshit where it steers blah de blah, I'll say yes, it's a bad version of cowboy talk. I am a cowboy.
Yeah,
that's a bad approximation, but I know this shit. That isn't a rancher that's written that.
He will point that out, and he says, fair enough. The legal system would just tie that up in knots for months, if not years.
But if the town is illegal, they wouldn't have a leg to stand on anyway, because they're breaking the law to start with being there.
Right?
Is the Office of Indian Affairs, I suppose.
Yeah. Exactly. He says you would need to establish whether Black Gulch was ever a legally established settlement under the agreed treaties that we have with the Sioux nations.
Would it be easier for us at the Office of Indian Affairs with a letter from yourself saying that it is to be looked into? Would it grease any wheels, or would it not help?
It may help, he says. We can definitely try that.
Well, it would be appreciated. I'm sure the 10 souls outside that were about to be abandoned by society would appreciate that as well.
Would it help even more if we got some of the authorities Indian authorities to help us out the Indian affairs, since they're using the corpses of Indians to be animated?
Oh, we could talk.
Talk to Charlie about that, can't we?
We could talk to our contacts on that, yeah. As an aside, I was thinking we've got some horses there. These people have been stripped from their homes, wherever they may be. Do we think it's a good idea to sell the horses, sell the weapons, take the $20, and then give a portion back to them?
That sounds good in my eyes.
10%. A good portion, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd be happy with giving all of the money that we got from that to them, but
well, I'm a charitable person, but I also would like to eat.
Yeah,
we've got a tithe for provisions and ammunition spent. So at least that. The church takes a tithe, I'm sure. So.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm not exactly poor though. That's why I'm not that bothered.
Yeah, sadly, candles aren't free.
Neither are paying off the parents of altar boys.
Exactly.
So what equipment and items are you actually planning on selling?
Well, we had, was it 4 horses?
4 horses.
With saddles, with saddles, I assume. Yeah. Do we want to sell the guns or do we want to keep them as spares? I've got guns, so I don't know if anybody else wants a spare.
Yeah.
I think we took spares from the last lot, and we made some spare anyway. But
I've got 2 pistols and a rifle. I don't think I need any more.
I've only got a pistol, so if there's a rifle, I'll happily.
There is so you got 5 Colt Frontiers and 2 Winchester 76s.
I don't know if I can figure out which one has the same.
Well, we can always take the ammo out of them and just sell the guns because the ammo will always get used. If you want to take take a rifle, I'll take a pistol, so I've got a spare in case it breaks on the trail or something. I've got no weapon, and then we could sell anything else.
That sounds good to me.
So which rifle was it?
Winchester 76.
76, okay.
What's the difference between 76 and 73?
Caliber 45 or 44 or 40.
Yeah, the 73 shares the ammo of the Colt Frontier. The 76 doesn't.
Yeah,
I think it doesn't do the -1. It does 2.8 damage, doesn't it, or something like that?
It's a 45 caliber.
Yeah.
And the Winchester 73 is a 44 odd 40. So I'm going to stick one of those on.
The same armor penetration, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, identical in every. Hang on, what's? Yeah, identical in every other way.
You said there was 2 76s.
76s has a lower strength requirement.
There are 2 76s, yeah. Oh, there's a strength requirement, is there?
Yeah, 6 on the 73 and D4 on the 76. So I'm definitely in need of the 76.
Just made better. Less kickback, more damage.
Yeah.
Probably got a better stock.
The 73's got a strength requirement. What was that, sorry?
A D6.
I haven't got that. I should have 76 then.
Swap it out for a 76, that's fine.
Yeah. I didn't realise there was a strength requirement.
We'll be selling a 76 and a 73. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then all the frontiers. 4 horses. 4 saddles. I suppose that about covers it, really. Gun belts. Don't know. Whatever. And then we got $20 to add to the total, and then we can give them 80% of it or something daft like that.
Okay. Yeah. All told, everything that you go to sell, you can effectively get $500 for it.
They're going to buy a hotel out there in town and just set it up for themselves.
They will, even that's it, we're done.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much is...
If we give them, if we let them split 4 between them, then we have 100 between us.
I think between 10 people. $40 a piece.
Yeah.
$80 for a couple. You buy a good chunk with that. They could get a fair way.
76 is actually lighter as well. Encumbrance.
Yeah, $100 will cover our side, and $400 amongst the rest of them should get them a reasonable start.
So we get $20 each.
Might switch it a little bit actually, because it's what can you? I'm not sure what you can buy with that, to be honest with you, because guns are cock all, aren't they?
Depends what kind of gun you're looking for.
I don't think things are expensive. All said and done.
Even a basic hat periscope's $200.
Gear and goods. $2 for a pair of long johns. $8 for a pair of boots. Well, $40 a piece is probably all right.
Flamethrower, $700.
It'll get a room and board, won't it? So.
Gonna have to put that in my savings account.
Right, so we're going to go see Charlie.
Yeah, can do. But we can get if the sheriff will provide us a quick letter or something with his X at the bottom, then we can go and talk to Charlie. Tell him what we found out so far.
Yeah.
We might as well tell him the whole piece. To be honest with you, the whole story. I don't think it does any harm. Tell him, especially, and then we can. If he wants to add anything, and say we're going to the Office of Indian Affairs, so we can go and we'll go speak to Charlie. Because I think we're done at the sheriff, aren't we? I think that's
pretty much you're done at the sheriff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, asking around, Charlie is once again within the. It's late. It's late in the day, actually. But you'll find Charlie in the Grand Hotel where you were effectively staying, enjoying an evening meal and one sec.
Oh, just before we leave the sheriff's office, have a quick look on the rewards posters. Were any of the people up for reward the actual slavers?
No.
We're going to ride through the night to get the bodies.
No. There's a couple of general low level wanted mostly for cattle rustling or illegal mining, etc., but nothing particularly jumps out at you in relation to what you've seen.
Can I pick copies of those up?
Yeah, sure.
Right, okay.
Okay, so Charlie.
Yeah, walking there, ask if we can join him.
Charlie is, as I mentioned, he is enjoying the Grand Central Hotel. As you kind of head in to the hotel, the first thing you notice is an increased presence of Union soldiers. There are a couple of soldiers at the door, and when you kind of go in, there are a handful of soldiers kind of loitering around. All of them are well armed. They definitely weren't here the day before yesterday when you were staying.
Makes me wonder if somebody famous is inside.
As you kind of tie up your horses outside, dismount and head towards the front doors, a couple of the guards at the front kind of stare at you rather obviously, looking at you up and down, kind of eyeing the various weapons and things that you're carrying amongst about your persons. One of them kind of nods, sort of tips his hat and nods at you. Evening, gentlemen.
Evening.
Evening, boys.
No.
Business in the Union? Sorry, business in the Central? Or business in the Grand?
We're staying here.
Are you? I find that difficult to believe, but by all means.
I'm going to walk past, get my room key and wave it in front of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you walk past and you go up to the front desk, and Aunt Lou Marchbanks, who runs the place, kind of looks at you and shakes her head. Sorry, gentlemen. All the rooms have been taken.
We paid ahead.
We didn't check out.
Yeah. She kind of looks at each of you. I appreciate that. I wasn't given much of a choice.
Then we'll be asking for a refund.
Or refund with compensation.
She nods. Well, Custer's told me to pay anybody who had claim on any of the rooms. So here you go. And she kind of puts kind of goes into a drawer and pulls out a big, thick pile of bills, probably about $50 worth.
Didn't think this town came under the authority of Custer. Has that changed?
Comes under the authority of money.
Well,
Anybody can sell the soul.
Rock in a hard place.
She kind of looks between you and she just says, well, you're now standing, it would appear to be in the headquarters of the Union Army. She just shrugs.
You've been bought out. That was quick.
Well, let's just say I've been asked to provide residence.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, ma'am.
Well, me too. There's a couple of other places you can go. None of them are going to be as good as this.
Well, at this point in time, they're better than this. So.
She kind of looks at you and winces a little bit at that.
Terrible stench in this place all of a sudden.
Yeah. She kind of looks at you and kind of, with that pleading look of, please don't start anything.
I won't mention custard one at all.
At this point, Charlie kind of comes out of the dining room, also looking not too happy. Ah, gentlemen, having the same problems that I am having, are you?
Indeed we are, Charlie.
So it seems.
Well, can I suggest joining me for a supper in the Gem?
Absolutely. We have things to talk about.
Excellent. Well, let's go. It kind of takes you out of here, and we'll take you down the street to the Gem Theatre, which is up here. The Gem Theatre. Oh, that was cool.
We have to restable, aren't we? We were stabled here as well.
That's a predator targeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've restabled your horses. That's not a problem. So the Gem is it's more known for its hospitality of its hostesses than anything else that it offers. It is a place where liquor stage shows of all kinds take place downstairs. Upper level is a full service salon. It is also definitely more of a dive. As you kind of get settled, half paying attention to one of the shows that's on. It's kind of stylized after the French can dancing, but with maybe less clothing. It's taking place on the stage, and Charlie kind of sits, orders some drinks, passes them around, and so, how's my good friend?
Hopefully on his way here. He was
alive and well then?
He was alive and in one piece, but the predicament we caught him in wasn't good.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been if we had not got there.
How do you mean?
Reanimated dead was forming the his house, I suppose.
Yeah, we haven't told anybody about the. No, that was the initial place was Indian Dead as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, his homestead was being swarmed by reanimated Indian Dead again.
Yes, he kind of. So, somebody's out to besmirch the name?
Besmirch the name, desecrate the corpses, rubbish, tarnish the ancestors. Yeah, do all that stuff.
Any idea who or from where?
I'll explain what I found. Where there was tracks of, was it 3 people? I remember something to do with that we found standing near and where the graves had been desecrated from.
That's right.
So what we discovered, I'll pass on. I can't remember the exact specifics, but I seem to remember a number of three people that we found trail of, and where they've been raised from, and the path that the corpses seem to have taken. Though we learned from the different mining claims, you might say.
And all of this led back to the gulch?
Certainly in that direction, we lost the trail. But it was heading that direction.
Wasn't the church at the end the same church as the preacher in town? Is that something we saw? I can't remember. I seem to remember there being like a light bulb moment, because I know we were going to be looking into him, but I don't know whether that was a moment where we looked at the church and went, I can't remember.
It would be difficult to. So the building that they had used in, that he was using in Deadwood, is not was just a shack more than a church. From memory.
Yeah,
we
saw, wasn't he?
Yeah, we saw the flyer up at the horse eater, didn't we?
Yeah.
We saw a flyer there. I don't know if we saw another flyer anywhere else or whether I'm just misremembering.
You found a flyer at the horse eaters at the camp. You also found the same flyer amongst, if you remember when you went to see the person that gave you the salt.
Yeah.
And the explosives. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You found something there. Traded Dick. Chapel of Red Waters was the specific thing the leaflet said. You didn't quite. All you know is that was just one of the basic buildings on the outskirts of Deadwood. Nothing fancy at all about it. So the church that you saw in Black Gulch, you have no reference that would definitively link them to the preacher that's got out of town.
It may be that I was thinking that the church was linked to the first one, and therefore we had future ones. And I saw a church. That might be it. It might be just been something.
Maybe.
It's over.
But it was definitely a prominent building at the far end of the high street, where the ravine that this sits in kind of comes to the end. And it did kind of stand out very much so.
Very Diablo-esque.
Yeah. He kind of looks at you then and kind of leans forward a little bit. So what's the plan? You going back?
Well, we're going to go to we want to go to the Office of Indian Affairs. See who's registered. So we've got a letter from the sheriff, but I was wondering if there's any advice or help that could come from the people.
See whether the town is legal or not.
We'll talk about slaves as well that are going there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the next part of the story. And who we think the town is owned by.
He nods, and he kind of strokes his chin for a moment. Well, it's as good a place as any. Certainly, the OIA would have records of the settlement being founded. Though I've got to be honest, there was not supposed to be. The treaty doesn't allow for people to found large settlements. So I am going to go out on a limb and sort of say this is most likely one of the many illegal mining settlements that sprung up before Custer agreed the treaty with the Sioux Indians. But you never know, you might be in luck and there might be a reference to a building that was laid claim by an individual in the area. Now come, drink. And he kind of raises his hand and more drinks are poured, some whiskey shots, etc., are all poured out in front of you.
Blake kind of feels like he may have a target on his back from various sources at the moment, so he won't drink heavily.
Okay.
Same.
Well, the rest of the night passes uneventful. Nobody really pays too much attention to you. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. You're paid a lot of attention by the hostesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who very clearly would like to deprive you of both your stamina and a few dollars.
Blake also has the attractive edge, so
Yeah, Blake in particular is definitely. At one point, he probably has 3 or 4 hostesses kind of fighting over who's going to bed him tonight.
That could be part of the entertainment.
no need to fight, ladies.
Yeah, all 3 of you.
As we're pulling a swimming pool full of mud.
To
Go on.
keep his end up.
Aye.
I've got these little blue pills, says the doctor.
Yeah.
Right, doctor, I've got D8 vigour.
Yeah, do you want B12?
These little bits of ghost rock.
It's fair to say the loss of the Grand Central and the rooms there make it a very uncomfortable place to stay the night. You manage to secure a couple of rooms here. They're a little bit, in comparison, they're more flea ridden, definitely not more bed bug ridden, and definitely you don't want to look at the mattresses under the sheets.
Or I will not sleep on those beds.
No.
Absolutely not. I won't be staying here.
You can probably secure other accommodation. There are tents and things out further out of the main kind of couple of roads that you go. You can start to find all the tents, and you'd be able to secure yourself, 2 or 3 tents off one of the main strips around. Not sort of in between, say, Wall Street and Gold Street. You could get yourself some tents and camp down there for the night for a few cents.
That sounds good.
The morning brings rain. The kind of rain that just doesn't come down heavy, but gets into everything. And soon it is just totally uncomfortable and damp and miserable. And you get yourselves up. You go to one of the saloons for breakfast. You could theoretically still eat in the Grand Central Hotel, but you'd be eating amongst officers of the Union Army, putting you directly in line of sight and attention of said individuals.
I just don't want to give them the money.
No, we'll go to Nuttall and Man's saloon there, number 10 saloon.
Empire Bakery sounds good as well.
Mm. Yeah,
Empire. Hang on a sec. What was that? Empire Bakery?
Yeah, on Lee Street.
Give me a sec.
I think there's whirly gigs across the road for the doctor's entertainment, I would guess.
Okay. Just crashed my PDF.
What's Dingler's whirligigs?
I don't know, but it sounds like gadgets and things.
Well, it's not like helicopters.
That's what I was thinking.
They were.
Well, kind of fairground attractions.
I remember.
There was also an Australian TV show called The Whirly Gigs, which were helicopters.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me get the Deadlands stuff up.
I think it was The Whirly Gigs, or was it Whirly Birds?
Whirligig, an object that spins in the wind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, I've definitely heard it used for helicopters. That's for certain.
Yeah.
Okay. So, believe it or not, Dingler's Whirligigs is an Austrian inventor. Arthur Dingler runs an aircraft rental service. An autogyro with pilot will cost you $200 a day. So, yes, it's a helicopter.
Ideal for dropping leaflets, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ideal for dropping leaflets. What was the place you said about?
Empire Bakery straight off, is it?
Yeah.
Empire Bakery doesn't have its own Miss Elsner's Cakes and Pastries. Okay, so Empire Bakery is exactly as it sounds like. It is a bakery. It is run by a lady, called middle-aged lady called Miss Elsner. She sells many different varieties of cake, pastries, both sweet and savoury. And the smells that come out of the building as you walk past at any time of the day just immediately set your stomach to rumbling and your mouth to watering. Absolutely beautiful.
Well,
It's a Greg's.
Yeah. It's not. It's a greenhouse.
Yeah. Thomas's.
Wineholtz from Chester.
Yeah, it's not a brand. It's a local bakery. It's a proper one.
It's a proper local bakery.
I will get obviously something for myself, but I will get a box made up of sweet and savoury pastries.
Okay.
And I'm going to go and drop it off at the Gem Theatre for all the girls.
Oh, okay.
Oh, bless you.
Bless you. All right. Cost you a couple of dollars. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing too difficult. The odd thing about Nuttall and Mann's Number 10 Saloon, there is a portion of the saloon itself that has big, thick red rope around it, and it's curtained, and a sign on it that says $1 to see the location where Wild Bill met his end.
Oh.
Step away.
Is it just a bit of dirt ground in there?
I don't know. If you want to pay $1 to take a look at the other side through the curtains.
Go on, I will. I'm intrigued. I'll pay $1.
So beyond there is a table. I think it's going to still be laid out with a card game mid-progress and a chair that is stained with blood.
Oh.
If I remember rightly, that's what happened to Wild Bill. He was shot while
playing cards.
While playing cards, I think. Yeah, playing poker. Seats opened up at a table. A drunk man named Jack McCall sat down to play. McCall lost heavily. So what you'll notice is the seat that it sat at was a chair facing away from the door. And he was shot in the back. Back of the head at point blank range.
Ooh.
He was playing 5-card stud or 5-card draw, holding 2 pairs, black aces and black eights. And so the table is kind of laid out like this, with bottles of beer, now long empty. and cards and chits and things from a game. And obviously in the chair where Hiccup was supposedly killed, in front of him would be this hand that shows a pair of 8s and a pair of aces.
I'll take my hat off in a bit of reverence there.
No problem. So yeah, you get yourself a rather nice breakfast, a mixture of good cake and some, morning warm food and drink from the saloon.
Right, so what's our plan of action?
Let's go to Indian first. Find out whether that is the legitimate town, though we're 99% sure it isn't.
Yeah, and then what?
I think we need to infiltrate the town. Find out what the hell's going on.
I think we start a coffee shop chain here.
Yeah.
Right next to the bakery.
What would you call it?
Don't know. We'd have to come up with something cunning. Don't know. We hunt a little bit. We've dealt with Sheriff Starbucks, maybe.
Starbucks.
Best copyright that.
Do it early enough.
If that town was found to be illegal, what would happen? Would law enforcement try and do anything, or would the Indians have the rights to?
As best you know, if you brought it to the attention of the Sioux, they would try the legal route, which was a representation to Custer, to see if Custer was prepared to uphold the treaty. If he's not, then they will go and attack. They would probably want to raid the place and close it down.
Well, we know that Custer wouldn't.
Yeah, Custer's looking for a reason to start a war, isn't he?
Yeah.
Only on the back of the fact that the Sioux attacked him during his march here. So, yeah, perhaps.
But did they really? That's the thing. They were all animated undead Indians from this type of thing. He may not have been attacked by actual Indians. He may have been attacked by.
I don't think that would matter to him.
Whoever's behind this.
You say we're talking about a man who's had his arse handed to him by Indians.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
So, what you know is of the treaty, it has 7 points. Point 1, the US government recognizes the borders of the Sioux Nation as we know them today. No US troops are allowed within these borders. That has been breached by Custer. Number 2, the settlement on Deadwood Creek can be rebuilt under Sioux supervision. All non-Indians residing in the Sioux Nations must live there unless given special permission by the council to live elsewhere. The only access to the settlement from outside the Sioux Nation is by rail or trail. White folks found straying shouldn't bother claiming they're on their way to Deadwood. They'll be ejected from the Sioux Nations no matter what. Mining is limited to the Black Hills themselves. Miners must pay a $100 fee for a prospecting permit and a $200 fee to stake a claim. Fines must be assayed in Deadwood, and 5% of the cash value must be given to the Sioux Nations. Mines may only be registered by individuals, not companies. No single mine may be worked by more than 5 people at a time. Mines found in violation of these rules are shut down. Anyone violating these rules is immediately ejected from the Sioux Nations. So what you know of the treaty, and you can see it posted on various billboards and things around Deadwood, so it's not, and it would be kind of stamped on a billboard outside the Office of Indian Affairs. Black Gulch, is seems to be created or managed by a company, so that probably breaches number 5. Although you didn't see any signs of a mine, it most probably breaches number 6. And it is clearly breaching number 2 because there should be no other settlement within the Sioux Nations that should be created. So as far as you can tell, there are definitely 3 breaches of the treaty with this place being in existence. You kind of go over to the Office of Indian Affairs. It's run by a Sioux Indian by the name of Joseph Bearclaw. Again, seems a little bit out of place wearing a very nice tailored suit, 3-piece suit and shirt and tie, with his dark hair, which is kind of shoulder length, and he kind of looks up from some papers that he's kind of reading over as you kind of wander in. You'll also notice that, again, sat at another desk over to one side, appears to be a man, a Union officer by the looks of his insignia and clothing, and loitering around the periphery of the building are at least half a dozen more Union soldiers. And of course, this is right next door to the Grand Central Hotel, which has another couple of dozen soldiers in it as well.
We all got enough bullets on us, just in case.
Yeah, I think we have.
Yeah.
As you kind of wander into the office, the Union soldier kind of glances up at you, nods, but doesn't say anything.
Ignore him.
And then the Indian, Joseph Bearclaw, kind of, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Here to stake a claim? Buy a prospecting license, gentlemen?
No. More. See if there is one. There's a town called Black Gulch. Just wondering whether or not it has been registered.
A town called Black Gulch. You'll notice that he kind of glances over to the Union officer very briefly. Well, there should be no towns other than Deadwood here in the Black Hills, as per the treaty. And he kind of taps the points to the sign just on the wall near his desk.
Yes, indeed, which is why we're asking.
Well, where did you say this place was?
I got a description of the location.
Southwest of
Johanna Station, was it?
Yeah.
No, it's southwest of Deadwood.
Southwest of Deadwood, sorry.
10 or so miles. So he pulls out sort of a map. You notice that he's got a big stack of papers, probably each piece is about this kind of size. and they seem to be detailed, basically grid references for the Black Hills, and he kind of sort of says 10 miles to the southwest, you say, that'll put us in this sector here, and he slides out the paper and he puts it on top and he kind of lays it down, and he says, then you notice that there are a number of crosses, question marks and other bits kind of dotted on the map, and he kind of traces your kind of rough direction. Well, no, there's nothing here by the name of Black Gulch that is officially registered, although we do have a claim here by oh, interesting, by a fella Dieter Ambrose. Just here. It seems that Dieter may have struck lucky, because not only did he pay for a prospector's license, he then paid for a he actually paid a I forgot what I called it. A claim fee. And well, and he kind of goes and he kind of rummages through a pile of books behind him, pulls out a big ledger, slides it down, starts to open the ledger, and he sort of goes through several pages and eventually goes, yes. He goes, and it seems Mr. Ambrose was quite successful. According to this, he paid us a sum over the course of, and he kind of starts flicking through, and you can see that, every so many pages there's a new month kind of on the top, and it seems to be a period of about 4 months, just 12 or so months ago, that he kind of looks at this and says, yes, a sum of $27 across 6 visits.
So clearly he's finding something there.
Yeah, a couple of pairs of boots and the odd gun.
Don't forget, $27, 5% is the fee that they pay.
So it's like $400. Is that right?
Yeah, 500, isn't it? Yeah, 540, something like that.
So
that's nice. Yeah.
So not a small amount. And then he says, and then it seems that Mr. Ambrose, as per the treaty, vacated his holding, and we don't have a record. And he starts flicking through, and you can see that he goes January of this year, February of this year, March, April, May, June, July, goes all the way to sort of September. And it says, we have no further record of Mr. Ambrose having anything assayed here in Deadwood since. In fact, I'm not even sure if Mr. Ambrose took up his claim this year. And it seems to be roughly in the location that you saw Black Gulch.
Well, the town is quite substantial in size. Has its own sheriff, its own church, stores. This isn't just a small claim. This is
it's a town.
A town that would have a population of some size.
Well, that is very interesting. Well, I shall make a note, and we will send representation there, I think, in the next few days.
I wouldn't send a small representation.
It's
It's an armed settlement, and they wouldn't let us in.
They threatened us with quite a few people there aiming long guns at us.
Well, I guess I will have to make representation of Custer's men and see if they would accompany us as a joint exercise in upholding our fair and sensible treaty. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
Are we aware of any relationship between Custer's Union men and Hellstrom on a kind of larger scale?
Beyond rumours, perhaps, that Hellstrom feeds both sides his weapons of mass destruction? No.
He's an arms manufacturer. He'd want the war to go.
One of the things he does is arms manufacturing, yeah.
Yes, no corn in peacetime.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not.
When you do send this representation to the Gulch, would you mind if we came along with you? Or are we talking? Are we talking?
What is
a fair time in the future?
He looks at you and we will send somebody at the point we can. It certainly won't be in the next couple of days, I wouldn't think. We have other claims to investigate. And whilst this one is perhaps of a more serious nature, we can't get to all of them all the time.
I understand.
This claim is also slaving. Not necessarily your side of the deal, but they do appear to be rounding up innocent folks from the roads.
Oh, that is a matter for the. He kind of nods over to the officer, who is now kind of paying attention. That is a matter for the good union officer there to bring that to the attention of his superiors. We don't particularly care for slavers. We have a typical policy and reaction of killing them.
As do I.
So do we. Yes.
Yeah. I would say that if the people of the nations found out that people were slaving on their lands, that would make it doubly bad. That somebody's set up a settlement and they're snatching up not only your folks but their folks as well.
Is there a bounty for retiring slavers from their chosen profession?
Not particularly.
Shame.
Officer, is there a bounty? He kind of looks up and he's sort of, well, if you can bring them back alive and prove that they were slaving, then we would certainly see our way to pay a small reward, yes.
Can we reanimate those corpses?
Gentlemen, is there anything else I can help you with? Do you have a claim to stake or prospective license you wish to purchase? Remember, it is better that you have a license if you're found in the Black Hills.
Did you say were there any licenses or were there any claims that could be struck in in the area of Black Gulch if there was only.
Well, Dieter's is available, isn't it? Dieter's claim's available. He's not renewed it.
Well, we have a policy of not letting go of previously claimed stakes for at least 12 months. By all means, come back in the spring, and if it's still available, I could definitely see my way to selling it to you.
Are there any other unrenewed claims in that area? More than 12 months old?
He looks through his notes and look.
Looking for a path here, Doctor.
Just giving us a reason to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, it's not quite in the same area, and he kind of shows you on the map there's a mark to the sort of northwest of Black Gulch, sort of up and through the mountains, sort of on the other side of a small range of hills, that seems to have a kind of a mark through it. He says, yes, this claim appears to be abandoned. There's definitely been no sign or sight of the owner for the last 18 months.
And when it was worked, did it turn any form of profit?
Let me take a look. And he kind of pulls out a different ledger and he kind of goes back and, oh, yes, for about 2 years it was making a steady $30 to $50
Tax.
That's reasonable.
I have it down as a couple. It was worked by 2 individuals, a Marcy and Robert. A Marcy and a Robert. Yes.
And how much would that claim be at this time?
It would be $100 for the prospecting fee, and then $200 for the claim itself. So $300. And a maximum of 5 people can work that claim at any one time. And he kind of looks over at you all and smiles.
Go round up those ex-slaves.
$300 we gave them. We need it back.
Yeah.
I can cover it.
Yeah, we can.
Well, we can all cover it. We've got money, haven't we? So $60 a pop.
Sounds like we're going to buy ourselves a claim.
Well, that's rather excellent. Let me see. Let me get this piece of paper and this piece of paper and this piece of paper. And he, for the next sort of half an hour, then he proceeds to fill out some paperwork very precisely. Has each of you put your signature or your mark on, first and foremost, a piece of paper that recognizes you as a group owning a license to prospect in the Black Hills. That gives you the freedom to travel the Black Hills off the main paths between the months of March and November.
I thought you were going to say September then and be like,
No, between March and November.
November, fantastic.
And likewise, the second, slightly longer and more painstaking document is a claims document that describes exactly the claim. And basically, he pulls out the old copy of the old carbon copy of the old claim document, and he copies it all down perfectly. He says several times to you that it's very unusual for somebody to buy a claim without visiting it. to make sure and making sure that it is still producing. But if you're happy to take it on value, then he's happy to do the paperwork. But of course, there are no concessions given to discounts or anything along those lines. So you are basically, with this particular claim, taking your chance.
And what's our legal rights for dealing with anybody that's currently on that claim?
If there were somebody that did not have a claim license, and he looks at you and says, namely Mr. and Mrs. Kellerman, if they did not provide you with a copy of their claim license for this specific part of the Black Hills, then you are well within your right to remove them as trespassers.
So just like if they were on
a ranch,
we're on a ranch, if they resist, we can kill them. Excellent.
Well, if that is what you wish to do, yes.
Oh, good to know. Good to know where we stand.
Oh, gentlemen, you are the proud owners of this. And he kind of finally hands over the pieces of paper with your signatures on and duly annotated by himself.
Whilst he was doing all this, I'll have quickly gone to the bank and taken $60 out and brought it back.
Yeah, ditto.
Yeah, $60.
All right.
Right, that better get some pickaxes and some blasting caps.
You better do that.
And some more dynamite.
At that point, we'll call it a night.
Awesome.
Oh, there's 6 of us, isn't there? So it's $50. Yeah, you're right.
There's five of us.
5 characters plus a GM, so there's only 5 of you.
Oh, sorry, yeah, completely. Yeah, 5 characters. Yeah, I took 60 off anyway. Sweet. If we just moved our coffee shop, is that what we're saying? Rather than being in a town now, we're actually going to be a coffee shop down the road from Black Gulch. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Exactly.
We're hoping the railway's going to go past us.
Yeah. That's what prospecting is all about. It's the new town.
You're opening a service station.
Yep. Unfortunately, it's an underground railway, so it's not going to make much money.
It is not going to make much money.
Well, if it was, we could dig. We could do it as an U-Bahn station and just put some currywurst in there and just call it Berlin or something.
Right, I'm just going to drop the server, everybody.
Okay.